Yeah. All right. So good evening. We'll come to S what? What is the Xin Metal? S
9.
9?
S9.
No. S8. After
No,
Xin will be
S9.
huh?
No,
9?
it's S9. S8 is E wood.
Ni wood, huh? Okay. All right. So S9, huh? Okay. Xin Metal. Come, as we just try to recap again from very beginning. Always try to keep constantly to repeat very often. So therefore, we can actually brainwash you into the 5 elements in the literature. Right. So based on the 60 jiaji, or based on the 5 elements, usually we'll start with wood. Now, of all these elements, of course, there is always that unique feature. Out of the 5 elements here, wood is the only element that is organic, that has life substance. So therefore, in some reading, when we look into employment, when we look into macroeconomics, wood represents people, it represents employment, it also represents growth, because wood is growth, wood is expensive. Now, under Western astrology, which planet is associated with wood? Which is the planet that is associated with wood?
Oh, no.
Don't know. Jupiter. Okay, I mean, it will be easier in Chinese. What is the Chinese name for Jupiter? The wood
Grandeur.
star. Huh? No, the grandeur. Muxing. No. Okay, the Chinese name for Jupiter is Muxing. Muxing, actually is wood lah. The wood star, yeah. And Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. Jupiter is the biggest. And because it is the biggest, it has a very strong gravitational pull. And therefore, in a way, whenever there are meteors or whenever there are comets, and because Jupiter is big, they tend to attract. And so in a way, Jupiter behaves like a vacuum cleaner. It sucks in all the debris. Therefore, it is like a protector to planet Earth. And so in a way, we can find that planet Earth is safer when Jupiter is around, because Jupiter is the bigger planet that sucks in all the flying meteorites or debris. That would be sometimes Jupiter. So due to that role, Geospata, that will be Zeus. Geospata or Zeus in the ancient Greek, and therefore that is the sign of benevolence. So Jupiter is that element that represents growth. So if later we look into divination reading, wood represents growth. It represents growth. And sometimes when you're looking for things like health, I'm sure when you look for something in your body for your health, you don't want to look for growth. If you know what I mean. All right. So anyway, that would be just one symbolism for Jupiter. Now, and here, of course, out of the 5 symbols, fire. Now, what is the Western astrology for fire? Which planet is the
Mars.
Mars? That is right. So Mars is the god of war. Mars, of course, represents that passion. Mars represents, or at least fire represents into this. And of course, we look into the sun. We look into, but it's mostly the planet Mars that we have here as well. Now, which planet represents the earth element? Don't say planet Earth, It's not planet Earth. Earth here is not planet Earth, Okay. All right. Which planet is the Earth planet? What is the what?
Saturn.
Saturn. So in Western astrology, Jupiter is the expansion star. Saturn is the restriction star, the one that constricts. So in a way, there is this big, and of course, in December there was this big Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. That is only one that happens 180 years, not mistaken. So therefore, that would be just looking into the earth. Earth is that construction. Okay, then of course now we come into the stuff for metal. So as we come and continue, finish up metal today, then of course the next 2 weeks we'll then finish up water. Then we'll complete our 10 elements here. In the first metal, now what is the if wood is benevolence and fire is passion, what is earth?
Solid, honesty,
Sorry,
loyal, trust.
trust. Trust. And when we look into the earth branches, all earth branches are graveyard stars. They are basically storage. So earth is the storage, the storage element that we have. All right, now as we come into metal, what is the symbolism for metal?
Strong,
Strong,
durability,
durability,
warrior.
loyalty, warrior. That's right. So therefore, these are the symbolism that we have. And last week we covered the yang metal, which is Keng. And in the symbolism for yin and yang, there are always the opposite side for it. Yang earth is tall, yin earth is flat. Therefore, one goes up, one is flat. Keng is strong, and now today is Xin, which is basically soft. So therefore, yin, Xin metal is soft metal. And soft metal, let's take a look into now some of the, very quickly, what will come to mind when we have the symbolism or the imagery of Xin. The one thing that always comes to mind when people talk about Xin is diamond ring, jewelry, things that are shiny, things that are soft, gold, precious metal. Therefore, yin metal is precious. And so yin metal must have face. Face is very, very important. Face is very, very important. The fastest way to make an enemy to a Xin Daymaster is to humiliate and to insult this person. Right, so then you'll get into becoming an enemy for a Xin metal, because face is important. Right, so therefore they love the spotlight. They are diamond, they are classy, they are elegant, glamorous culture. So Xin is that precious metal, that shiny metal that is very much about brand. Branding, face value is very crucial. Right? Therefore, that would be in one part the beginning of understanding Xin. So if you want to talk about purpose, the purpose of Xin is basically to look pretty, to attract, the law of attraction. So the role of Xin is to attract. The role of Xin is basically to be in the front. So therefore, in terms of employees, you put these people as front office. You put them in front, they do sales, they do talk, they engage with people. Though you can find that the famous people, these are people, they're all entertainers, they are all outside there, like Stephen Chow, of course, is was a famous comedian. Sacha Baron Cohen also the same thing. So they are entertainers, they are able to be. And of course, Xin is also about plotting, it's also about, and talk about it, we also have politicians. So Malaysian politicians, we'll find them to be also Xin. So Xin and Yi tends to be politicians, because these are the people who are very good in connecting with other people. So therefore, that's the beginning of your understanding what a Xin metal is. Right. So Xin metal is that soft and they are weak, and the one thing that we consider is that their role, their key role in to sometimes okay, I can't really pronounce the Chinese, is that support society, support society and save the life and the spirit. And so maybe that's where the role comes in to play. And the rationale behind it is that if you are a Xin, if you are a Xin male, what is the wife star? Wife star is the direct wealth. The direct wealth is the wife of a Xin male? And what is the direct wealth to a Xin metal? Sorry, Jia wood.
Jia wood. Jia wood.
That's right, Jia wood. So therefore, Jia is the, that's right. So Jia wood is the one. Now, if you have a female Xin, if you have a female Xin metal, then your husband is direct officer. What is the direct officer to who is a direct officer to a Xin female?
Yang fire Bing.
Bing fire. Okay. No? So Bing fire is the first. No? And so what happens here, of course, we'll consider that the Bing is able to burn the Jia. The Bing is able to burn the Jia. But Xin combines with Bing to form water. And so water becomes the useful god, the regulator force into the source. So in that case, we consider that this is somewhere that special, they call a special element, a mix of element that makes Xin metal have this ability. So the ability is just say support husband, support society, and save the life and the spirit. Because when Ping and Xin combines together, when Ping and Xin combines together, what do they produce? When Ping fire and Xin metal combines together, what do they produce? They produce water. No, not Jackson, not wood, water. Ping and Xin combines together is water. Okay. And and sometimes when it is inauspicious, when it is negative, it is a lustful combination, hamsap. That means it's also some sex scandal. So Bing and Xin combines together will form water. But in this context, water is the resource, is the resource to the wood. Therefore, this would be a scenario whereby they create this. All right. So to cut the long story short, this kind of character have a tendency to have a superiority complex. Yes, it is. Okay, so Xin Daymaster, very good for frontline staff, must be in the limelight, must give them face, and any job that requires plotting and scheming, let them be part of it. So the more Xin metal that you have, the better you are in scheming and plotting, which can be a good thing, to plot and scheme, to be able to think is part of it, and they can talk. That's why what is the animal that is associated with Xin metal? What is the peak of Xin? What is the animal sign that is at the peak of Xin?
Rooster.
Rooster, that's right. Therefore, these people, they talk like chicken backside, because okay, okay, so that's why sometimes, no wonder you are born in the year of the chicken, no wonder cannot talk non-stop. Therefore, the fasa is always in this particular light. And so Xin metal can talk. They can talk. G Earth also can talk. These people also can talk. They have the silver tongue. That's why in English, people who can smooth talker, they call it silver tongue. Therefore, Yin metal is silver. Silver tongue. Silver tongue. So the more Xin that you have, the more you can talk. Silver tongue. All right, that will be just how you can look at it. Okay, so you come to the Xin metal. Xin metal is their personality, like precious diamond. They love attention. The soft heart sparkles and shine. So they're animatic. So therefore they attract. Now that's the thing. What is the output for metal? What is the output for metal? Metal produces what?
Water. Water.
Water. Now the thing about it, each production, each production cycle is very different. Because when wood produces fire, it's a sacrificial production. Because for wood to produce fire, wood will no longer be there. Wood sacrifices itself. It is burned. That is why wood is benevolent, because they sacrifice themselves in their production. Therefore, wood artists, they do everything for their art. They sacrifice their life for their passion. So wood produces fire is sacrificial. Metal does not really produce water. Metal attracts water. Early in the morning, you will find that metal can condense. Therefore, the condensation, via condensation, that you can find them pulling in their water. So therefore, metal is attractive because they attract their water. So each of them will have their, they will have their, and water, of course, feeding. So water feeds into wood. Earth doesn't produce metal. Earth is extracted. Therefore, it's the law of extraction. So metal is extracted from earth. That comes into it. Okay, and of course, fire producing earth is also some kind of sacrificial, simmering. Also sacrificial, but slower into the atmosphere. All right, so therefore, when we talk about metal, we talk about attraction. So personality-wise, it's also the same thing. So they are attraction. Okay. Okay. Connie, I'll try to answer your question. How does not be a snob? Well, they are a snob. Yeah. If you attract them, of course, they tend to have that snobby too. Okay, all right. We'll try to see how it can counter into it, whether it's auspicious or not. Okay, now one thing about Xin Metal, Xin Metal is a store of value. They are valuable, but they cannot be industrious. Therefore, they are not hardworking. Cannot tahan hard work one. They are they cannot tahan. These are the that's why they like jobs like entertaining, customer relations, because they just cannot be so they are very opposite to their Keng. Keng Metal, you have your Free Kong. All right. Okay, now see whether you still remember or not. There are two Kengs which are Free Kong. Which is it? Which two Kengs are the Free Kong Keng?
Metal dragon.
Very good.
Keng dragon and Ren dragon.
Not Ren Dragon also Free Kong, correct? But when it comes to Keng,
Oh, when you come Keng,
remember it's just dragon and dogs.
oh, okay.
Dragons and dog. Earth dragon dog. Wu Chen, Wu Shi. Okay, metal. Keng Chen, Keng Xi. And then water. Ren Chen, Ren Xi. Wu Shi. We'll also have it. Therefore, this will be so. Therefore, the Free Kongs, the Free Kongs, these are hard to kill. Hard to kill animal, very very tough. And Xin Metal, very very soft. Therefore, yin and yang. These are the no extremeness necessities. And while Keng is forceful, Keng will use power. They will use their force. Keng is more like you do it or else. You do it or else. I introduce fear. But because Xin is soft, Xin is weak, Xin cannot use fear. They use manipulation. So they will use manipulation. Unlike the other manipulator, the Yi. Yi wood is the flower, the pretty damsel in distress. Yi wood's art of manipulation will be to pretend to be weak. Who can help me? Kokocai, I am so soft, you please help me lah. Yi would will use that kind of manipulation. Panchi shit lo xi. That means pretend to be say lo fu. Panchi say lo fu. Yeah, say chi. Okay. So the Yi would is the Panchi say lo fu lah. Meaning to say the who can help me. All right. But Xin Metal is not like that lah. Xin Metal manipulate, but they don't go that way. They don't go that way. Theirs is more vicious. Theirs is more backstabbing type. So it's because they use silver tongue. They will use information. But the good thing about it is that's why they can also become very lawyers, accountants, because mathematics calculation, crunching number. Therefore, they like mathematics. Xin Metal likes mathematics. They like the share market. They attracts them into their careers. Okay, now if you have Xin in your hour chart, hour pillar, so because hour represents your investment. So I'm not talking about Daymaster, I'm talking about the last pillar, the hour pillar. If you have Xin in your hour pillar, then of course you may prefer to be a long-term money maker. So invest for long-term, they call it. You tend to invest what you call follow the crowd, as you tend to be a growth investor. So therefore but the problem is of course impatient. Therefore impatient. Impetus means impatient, and impatient would be quite something to be quite risky about as well. That's this. All right. Now in the imaginary of Xin Metal, this picture is also for the female private organ. So therefore, the imagery of the Xin Metal in the reading for health related represents sexual organs for the female. Whenever it comes in as, and therefore, females who have yin anywhere in their chart have to be very careful about the rabbit rooster clash, because rabbit rooster clash can also be uncivilized punishment, which of course may represent a risk of facing something related to this area as well. So therefore, in the chart, they have to be a bit more careful. The reading is also in that manner. All right. Now, if you look into the useful God chart, something unique about Xin is that from January to December, every season, every month, Ren is a useful God. Very unique. Because when you look into all other Daymaster, the Ping, the Keng, then depends on winter, summer, different useful gods. But here for Xin, every month, Ren is a useful god. So what does a Xin really need? What do they need? They need Ren water. So if there's Ren water in their chart, good, auspicious. They like it. Therefore, when you see Xin Metal, you want to see Ren. That will be one reason. So let's take a look into one person who will never become the prime minister, the Anwar Ibrahim. So sad. Okay. So let's see. So let me see. Let's see. I think I have a better updated chart. So, actually, he has. Therefore, Anwar Ibrahim. God. So therefore, this is Anwar Ibrahim. So as you look into Anwar Ibrahim. Okay, now remember, isn't it? Every time you want to grade a chart, again, let me just run through the brainwashing again. What are the three things that we look for very quickly? Number one, what do we look for when we want to grade a chart? The first thing is
the strength, the month bond.
The month bond, the season.
The season.
Okay? Therefore, this is Xin Metal, born in the month of Monkey. Monkey is what season?
Autumn. prosperous.
Prosperous. Okay, so therefore, prosperous. Okay. Therefore, Anwar Ibrahim is a Xin Daymaster, Xin Metal, born in autumn. Metal born in autumn. Huh? Prosperous, very strong metal. All right, what is the second thing?
Rooting.
Rooting. Got roots or not? Is it
Yes.
rooted or not? Where?
Yes. Day.
Sitting on the day. Huh? Therefore, rooted. Okay, therefore, yes. Huh? Therefore, this is rooted. Okay, what is the third one? Location. Location, of course, means sitting on self. Huh? Sitting on self, therefore, this is a friend star. Sitting on self. So the spouse pillar is himself. Spouse pillar is himself. Now, his luck cycle. Will his luck cycle be forward or backward? Will he have a luck cycle that is forward or backward?
Forward.
He's a male.
No, sorry. Male with Xin Metal is Yin.
Xin Metal with Yin. So therefore, his luck pillar will be
Reverse.
his luck reverse. So the first luck pillar will be what animal sign?
Reverse monkey. Reverse will be goat.
Monkey.
Goat.
Goat. After goat?
Goat. Follow the month, ma.
Yeah. Then follow the month. It's a season.
Yeah. Follow the month. Goat, snake, horse. Goat, goat, horse, snake.
Goat, horse.
Horse, snake, dragon,
rabbit.
Okay.
All right, good.
Okay.
Very good. Can read. At least you read the know. Huh? Okay, so therefore you'll have a slug pillar on the reverse side. Huh? All right. And so now to grade a Xin Daymaster is the presence of Ren. Got Ren or not?
Yes.
Got Ren. Huh? Therefore, this person got Ren. Now, what is Ren water to a Xin Daymaster?
Output.
Output. What kind of output?
HO.
HO. Hurting officer. Therefore, Xin Metal, that's why they are sometimes snobbish, because they are rebellious. They go against their opposition party. Therefore, they are hurting officer. They hurt the officer. They hurt the direct officer. This is the characteristics of that of this kind of character. The character that you'll be opposing. The character that is part of the Xin Daymaster types of leader. So therefore, need to use Ren, which is hurting officer. Hurting officer people basically in a part they are outgoing, they are performer. So I think Joey Yap, Dr. Joey Yap later used his 10 gods, he changed to a more English word, the performer, the artist, so to speak. All right, clever. So Xin Daymasters, they are very, very clever. And of course, sometimes the pink represents the boss, and combines with Xin produces water. Okay, now, how do you tell a Xin Daymaster from the crowd? Xin Daymaster, they dress very well. They are careful with their looks. They are careful with the way they dress. You won't see them wearing t-shirts, pagoda t-shirts, and shorts outside, because they need to have that. That's why face value is very crucial. They always command attention. They adore being in the spotlights. Right. So very quickly, they are clever. They are clever. They are calculative. They are conniving, cunning. That is the skill set of a Xin Daymaster. What is the downside, the weakness? The Xin Daymaster, they talk more than they do. That's why they join politicians and they join politics. They talk, but they don't do. The Keng Daymaster is the executor. They want to do, but they don't talk so much. Well, that's part of life. People who can do normally don't talk. People who talk normally don't do. Therefore, that would be the yin and yang of the way that they solve their problems. All right. And therefore, Xin Daymaster needs to leverage on the strength of others. But in a way, that is yin. Yin is like that. Yang and yin is always that kind of quality. That the yin will. That is why sometimes they're cunning, because they don't do the work. They just get other people to do the work for them. That would be. So that is why their key to success is the ability to build relationships, build up a network, and then leverage on other people to do the job for them. Into the. All right. Okay, so in a way, a Yiwood will normally get others to do the job for them. Yiwood will be the damsel in distress, the pretty flower, the who can help me, please help me. The Xin Daymaster will get others to do the job for them. That would be. And these others can be your fan base, can be your followers. Machai can be your employees. Therefore, they will get other people to do the job for them. So therefore, the way they play the game is a bit tricky. So therefore, Xin Daymaster wants to build a fan base. They want to build a follower gang. They want to build. That's why they join politics, because in politics you do get other people to do other things for you. In that very much sense as well. And therefore, here comes the part whereby Xin is about face value. And of course, the 6 Daymaster now will come into to look into them, each of them one by one. Firstly, let's cover Xin Chou, resourceful. Chou is in winter. And in winter, we'll take a look into the first part. Let's just run through this. Let me just capture this here for example. Look at the first one. So Xin Chou will have Xin Daymaster, therefore is rooted. What is G Earth to a Xin Daymaster? What is G Earth?
G Earth is indirect resource.
Indirect resource. And what is Kuei Water?
Eating God.
Eating God. So eating God is the artist, creative. Indirect resource is resourceful. Therefore, Xin Chou has the talent of resourcefulness. And Chou is winter earth. And in winter earth, the metal is still inside. So therefore, and only starting to come out. So therefore, it is earth with a lot of metal. It's earth with a lot of precious metal. So therefore, that is the symbolism where Xin Chou, which is coincidentally this year, isn't it? This year is the year of the Xin Chou. Therefore, resourceful. Very resourceful. So therefore, the talent of resourcefulness. So IR, indirect resource, means got good sixth sense one, got intuition one, therefore got intuition to do business. And because the indirect resource is the strength, indirect resource, indirect pillar means very unconventional. Unconventional means can think out of the box. They don't follow mainstream ideas. Therefore, very, very creative. And Xin Chou also means new discovery, because metal coming out from the soil. That's it. Metal coming out from the soil. Is a symbolism for Xin Chou. So usually they are very fair and they look young. They have a very young face. There's a very young face. So they look young And of course, metal people have this more bony structure. They will see the high cheekbones, jaw bones. You normally metal people tend to have more prominent bone features. Therefore, pretty young and pretty type. Usually that would be the method for the signature. Not afraid of fire, because winter, winter cold. If it's cold, not too afraid of fire. So not so area, because they also got Kueh water. And Xin has Kueh water. So having Kueh water, you know the Kueh water, so the Ting. So Ting is the 7 killing. So Ting is 7 killing, but having Kueh water means not so afraid of 7 killing. And so not afraid of 7 killing normally would also means that this character is quite brave, quite willing to stand up and to talk. That will be how we can look into the Xin Yin. All right, and of course, the story is where Xin the reading is metal from the earth, metal from the earth. Therefore, they tend to be attractive. They are fresh quality that comes into very good sixth sense again, as it is. And usually the reading will be surrounded by good things in life. Therefore, resources will come in to be quite abundant. They are not so afraid of 7 killing, so they don't back down so easily. And they are very innovative. So they are, because this represents innovation. It represents innovation. If let's say you get this as a luck pillar, if your luck pillar is this, then we'll say that time for you to venture into a new area, because you're going to have some invention, you're going to change your life in that sense as well. Right, now next we'll take a look into the opposite now, Xin. Xin Mao is wood. So metal sitting on wood is on the date. So therefore this represents an unstable pillar. Unstable pillar. Now, this symbolism is in the reading for health. When you read health, this may represent the male sexual organ, the penis. And this reading normally represents metal cutting the penis. Therefore, it represents. So only only reading for health. Remember, don't go and read. Oh, ayo, soy lo like that. Important. Don't. Remember. Say. Remember. You must know when does it mean? When do you use it into the part? Okay, so anyway, that is why Xin Mao is a broken pillar. It represents, that's right, let's say luck pillar. So luck pillar, it represents male health problems. And metal cutting wood is hoi tao, where you have to open knife. You open knife hoi tao to come into it. All right. So therefore, it will be needy. It will be needy. It will need chou. It will need zi. It will need ping wu. Therefore, this will be also. So it will need all these to survive. So it will need to have a lot more useful gods to come into it. And definitely, it will need resource. And resource, of course, means earth. It will need a lot of earth to come into it. It will need to see water. It will need to see water, because water is the arbitrator between metal and wood. So water soften or block the chopping of metal and wood, therefore making it shiner. Harder to clash. I mean, imagine if you want to chop you want to chop wood, it's easier to chop dry wood than to chop wet wood. That's what it means by needing water. All right. So they tend to be a little bit more. They tend to be a bit more weight problem. Therefore, this one will have a bit more of a weight problem. Okay, talking so negative, but on the positive side of Xin Mao are very rare. They are sometimes considered to be a rare specialist. They have a very rare talent. So therefore, very good in, so if we talk about rare talent, then we're talking about good in niche market, good in making money, business strategy, extremely specialized field. So these are the role of the Xin Mao, Daymaster here as well. Right. And of course, in the Xin Mao entrepreneur spirit, the coin is what rules. Therefore, money talks, bullshit walks. Therefore, that will be their motto. They are hardworking, definitely, as is good. And most of them, of all, they are very, very, they are very, so-called hardworking, clever as well. And Xin Mao people are loyal. They are loyal. Okay lah. I think I heard some people talk before into one part a bit, because you can see rabbit. Now, what is the animal sign for Playboy magazine? Playboy magazine use what animal for
Rabbit.
their rabbit?
Rabbit.
Rabbit Mao is
rabbit symbol.
Huh?
Rabbit symbol.
Rabbit symbol. Therefore, in a way, if I mean, most of us will know that when we talk about Playboy symbol, we always talk about the rabbit symbol. And because it is an unstable pillar, because this rabbit is an unstable rabbit, and there's a clash, and this clash also, of course, may mean that this, if auspicious and weak, therefore, if this represents the male sexual organ, and this represents the female sexual organ, therefore this is what they think all the time. That's what they think all the time, in a way, something like that. Therefore, that's where we'll consider that. On the other hand, likely to be Playboy and faithful. But generally, in a very funny occasion, because sometimes you see, sometimes the reading is double. Please, I don't want to say the reading can be where if they can be loyal in a sense, and the loyalty is only when the element is weak, when other metals are weak, so they're not too strong. Therefore, then they will be the other way around. Then they'll be very loyal, and they will not. But sadly, of course, when they're loyal, then they may then be so instead of them becoming the predator, they now become the victim, in that sense as well. Right? So that's just kind of reading that you can encounter as well. Since Brandmaster, okay, please, not so bad. This one is entrepreneur. This is entrepreneur. Okay, so they are entrepreneur, they are specialists. They are a specialist entrepreneur. So if you are looking for a Daymaster that is Xin Mao, and a person asks you, should I work or should I do business? Work first. And when you work, look for an area where you can become a rare specialist. Find an area of work where you can excel in the area. Learn something that very technical. Learn something that is very rare. Then you can be a master in the area. Then you can be very, very good as well. Okay, for since this one can be YouTuber, can be influencer, can be brand master, can be famous. Can be famous. The talent for attraction. As you come into the sins now, what do they have? What do they have? What is pink? What is pink Daymaster to a Xin? What is
Direct,
huh?
direct officer, DO.
DO. What is Wu Earth?
Direct resource.
Direct resource. What is Keng?
Keng Rockwell.
Rockwell. Okay. Therefore, they have the 2 out of the 3 pressures. Huh? The pressures, because but of course in the ancient days, of Confucianism, it is always the value is always on direct officer and direct resource. Huh? Because in those days, those are the clear one. They always prefer things that are clear. So therefore, the Cheng Quan is always something that they like. Direct, straight, honorable. Is always something that they would prefer. And rock wealth. Rock wealth is your fancy. Rock wealth is your fan base. So rock wealth is a party animal. So popularity, and you have a direct officer, direct resource, makes you the brand Daymaster. So therefore, combined with officer, status, power. Therefore, this would be into it as well. Therefore, this is considered to be the raw jade. Consider this to be the raw jade. And definitely, they would welcome rainwater. If they have rainwater, if they go over rainwater, now go over rainwater, go over. Go over rainwater means go over ocean. Go over ocean means travel over seas. And so the more they travel, the better their luck. The more they travel, the better their luck. And snake is under the trinity. What trinity is this? What is the trinity of the snake, rooster,
Metal.
and metal? Metal trinity.
Metal Trinity.
Metal trinity. Therefore, sin is metal, metal sitting on metal trinity, fame, sitting on self, sitting on your self trinity. Therefore, that is where fame is. All right. And so if they travel, so if you see a sin snake, then traveling is good, because rainwater is definitely your useful god. Some pink Daymaster is good, famous as well. Just one thing that you must be careful of. They do not like to see the monkey. Monkey and snake combines, but monkey and snake also destroys. Therefore, relationship problem. Spouse combine away, because monkey is the rock wealth that takes away the spouse spirit. So therefore, don't like to see monkey. Don't like to see that. There will be something that we can try to consider. So no good to see. All right. Now as you come along, so attention, definitely that is where. So this sense is very good if you let them become your brand ambassador. Therefore, you want them to become your brand ambassador. You want them to become your marketing manager. You want them to become your influencer. Therefore, that would be in a way that they can, when they talk, they command authority because they have their direct officer, they have their rock wealth stuff. Right? Therefore, they are very relatable. They are very, very friendly. And what will be their problem? Exhaustion. And sometimes when they are exhausted, they may turn their attention to certain drugs. Therefore, they might take drugs. They might need some health related issues because of their exhaustion due to their overexertion in this area. All right. So overall, very, very good Daymaster, luxury classiness. They are very kind. They tend to lead very, very good life. Tend to lead very good life. All right. Wait. Stable, but egoistic. Stable, but egoistic. And now as you look into Xin, what do they have? What is Yiwood to a Xin Daymaster?
Indirect wealth.
Indirect wealth. What is this? What is Ting to a Xin Daymaster?
7 killing.
What is Chi Earth? What is
Indirect resource.
indirect resource? Now this one, everything indirect. Everything indirect. Wealth is indirect. Now indirect wealth people, the indirect wealth people are big picture people. They don't go into details. And indirect people, their philosophy is always indirect philosophy, indirect wealth. If money can solve problem, use money to solve. Any problem where money can be a solution is not a problem. That would be the philosophy of an indirect wealth. And 7 killing, of course, is that we'll use that unconventional way of doing things. Therefore, underground, that means underground activities can be done as well with indirect resource out of the way. Therefore, that would be. And so, and way is summer is dry, dry and hot. And therefore, they would actually like to see the rain. Okay. So don't like to see fire. Don't like to see fire. Or sitting on summer. So Sin sitting on summer, on dry earth, don't want to see any more fire. They want to see more water. And if there is no water in the chart, do not trust your instinct. Do not use instinct. Especially trading, share market. Please don't trade directly. Don't buy and sell shares on your own. Because if you got no water in the chart, you got no wisdom. You got no wisdom, you got no water, you're wrong one. Therefore, don't be into the chart. And because they're sitting on dry earth, on earth that is out, they may tend to have some inferiority complex. Inferiority complex as well. Okay, and so again, they don't like to see fire. So if you don't like to see fire means you don't like to meet hot. You don't like to meet hot into the sun. So Jackson asked the question, if Ren is a hidden step, that means in another, in where? In another earth side, then only when clash. Only when clash. And so that is why sometimes earth and earth clash is good for some Daymaster. And if that's the case, then when there's earth and earth clash, when water is released, then that would be good into it as well. All right. So of all the Xin Daymaster, this metal is unrefined and not so attractive, resulting in ego problem. And so earlier there was a question on ego problem. So Xin metal, how not to be a snob, how to control. Ren water. Ren water. In a way, Ren is the output. Ren is the output to metal. Ren is the output to metal. If the output, there is a weakening. It's a weakening. And so when, in a way, Xin metal is like diamond. If you wash diamond, if you wash and wash and wash, then it shines better. And so when it shines better, it tends to be less negative. It tends to be less inferior. It tends to be less, the less so-called snobbish and egoistic. Therefore, that's where they would like to see more groundwater. Alright, therefore that would be Xin Metal, they have the 7 killing in them. So the moment you have 7 killing, you have the very cunning, overly nice on the outside. But one thing. I did mention before, see whether you remember or not. Of all the hidden stems, which one is not really hidden? Which one you cannot hide one?
Ting.
Sorry? That's
Ting.
right. That's right. Very good. Ting Daymaster. Because Ting represents fire. Fire is visible, can see one. And therefore, this Ting is the 7 killing. And 7 killing is that cunning plotting. And so the one thing that the Xin Wei Daymaster must realize, they must realize people can see one. Therefore that's why sometimes they are considered to be unrefined and unattractive. Because what is more pushing is when people can see you scheming and plotting. So sometimes you have people, right? They think they're clever, they think they're plotting, they think they're scheming, and they think you don't know, because to them it's a hidden step. But you can see, therefore that's why they have this. That's why to them you have all this. That's why when people see them, people can see the thing. People can see the 7 killing. People can see the ego problem, the unrefinedness, the unattractiveness. Right? And it pushes them away into one part. Okay, therefore that's it. Sometimes, that's it. But generally, you never know, because in certain area, in certain areas of life, that can be an advantage, especially in politics, especially in the natural talent for that manipulation, because in a way, sometimes it's like a game, a political game where you actually want people to see. But so therefore you get your way, you get what you want, because people can see it, they give in to you, or they know what you want, they give it to you, since they can see, in a way, something along the line. All right. Okay, now let's come into Xin Yu. Now, actually, another image for Xin Yu, which is not so nice, another image for Xin Yu is this one. Especially when this one goes into the back of somebody else, the backstabber. All right. Therefore, Xin Yu is fantastic in backstabbing. And because rooster is a kind of a self-punishment, it have a kind of a productive skill. So it will be very, very useful if you have water. Again, this thing goes on and on again. Ren is the useful god for many Xin Daymaster. Right? Therefore, they are vicious. Now, if you do see, it has a luck pillar. For luck pillar, remember, just only for luck pillar. If you see this for luck pillar, it is a rooster and rooster self-punishment. It is betrayal. So you have to be careful of that betrayal aspects. And therefore, but all these things will be positive if there is water. Because if there is water, then all these things will be good. Will be very, very good. All right. But other than that, Xin Yu is of course another shiny metal, precious attraction, life of the party, as it is. Life of the party. But of course, jealousy, because friend, narcissistic, because Xin Yu is friend star. Xin Yu. What is Xin Yu? Xin Yu is pure friend star. Therefore, narcissistic people always compare. Therefore, very competitive. Metal and metal. Metal and metal is argument. Metal and metal clash. It's loud. Therefore, that's why this person is loud. Has a loud person. Talk a lot. Party a lot. Tends to be a lot. But at the end, very comparable. And so if you have a Xin Yin Daymaster people, the best thing to do is don't show off in front of them. Don't show off in front of them, because they like to do this, and then they will feel this, and then one day they will do this. Therefore, this is where stay away. That means let them win. Let them win. If they like to boast, that's why the picture of a peacock. If they like to show their colorful feathers and tell you how wonderful their life is, how fantastic their holidays are, how blessed they are with riches, just entertain them, polish them a bit, polish them a bit, and then humble yourself and then move away. All right. So very little point in going head to head against a Xin Daymaster. But anyway, they are there for. But generally, how do they make money? Xin Daymaster make money by being attractive. That means they get people attracted to them. They are very refined in their life. They like to shine, and Ren is always very good. And of course, they need to see more Ren water in this part as well. That's nice. All right, so there we go. So this will be one part into it. But of course, they are very sharp in their work. That's nice. So Jackson, there's a question. Immune to punishment. I wouldn't say that it is immune to. I don't know. Okay. What I mean to say is that when you look into this one is just more for rooster. Rooster and rooster is self-punishment. Rooster and rooster is self-punishment. And therefore, in a it's one of the 8 specials. Yeah, so rooster and rooster in a way is self-punishment. So because normally when we read rooster, right? Rooster and rooster is a kind of a self-punishment. Now, sometimes the word self-punishment may actually mean that they do something. It can be sometimes a very positive thing, because sometimes in this case, because they give in to other people. They give in to other people, into the part. To be considered that they are immune from punishment, it's to consider immune from punishment. No, I wouldn't. I'll try to dig out some more information about that. But at the moment, I think, to my understanding, that's not really the case per se. Okay, Jackson, I'll try to see whether I can come back to that. Right? All right. Now, even though it is mentioned that they are backstabbers and they are betrayal sign and punishment, it's not necessarily all the time. It's not necessary, because the betrayal is also the rabbit clashing with the rooster. In another context of looking into this part is sometimes they are very friendly. They are very good. They are very good friends. They are very good friends. They are very good friends. And of course, I think over the chat, we can see that rooster. How do we write rooster? Rooster is written in this sign, isn't it? This is rooster. And when you put water, it actually becomes, what is this? This is alcohol, it's alcohol. Therefore, this is where part of the peach blossom that was asked is that rooster, peach blossom also denote drinking, drinking problem as well. Therefore, that's why they have a knack for downing a few glasses as well, as it is. And so in a way, the struggle of a Xin Yu, the struggle of a Xin Yu is they may be struggling from self-esteem issue. They may be struggling from self-esteem issue. And because of this internal struggle that they face, they tend to do a lot for their friends. They tend to put up a very good party animal friend. They're willing to do that. To that area, that's where they get this self-punishment, because they put their friends ahead of themselves, because they lack this self-esteem. So therefore, they give in to their friend. They punish their friend. That means, okay, you all go ahead. There's only 5 donuts. You all eat. Then it's okay. I don't need to eat. You all eat. Therefore, that's why Xin Yu have this personality of very friendly party animal, and they give in to their friends. And when they became so friendly to other people, when they sacrifice so much and they punish themselves so much, and then when they realize their friends do not reciprocate, then this is where they will turn nasty and they will backstab into one part. So therefore, this is revenge. Therefore, Xin Yu can be revengeful. Revengeful. So if you are a friend to a Xin Yu, be a genuine friend. Do not treat and take for granted a Xin Yu, because once you disappoint them, once they feel that you are not sincere, then they can turn around and they can go after you. And of course, our Anwar Ibrahim is a Xin Yu. He is a Xin Yu. In a kind of character in so betrayal is part of the life of a Xin Yu. So the life of a Xin Yu is full of self-punishment and full of betrayals. Backstabbing may be part of the life as well, that we may want to consider. Moreover, having a monkey. Moreover, having a monkey, because Xin Metal don't like to see monkey. They like to see the pig as it is. All right, if you like to see the pig, then the last one is where you will find the Ren water, Xin. So if Xin likes Ren water so much, this is now sitting on Ren water. So sitting on Ren water is sitting on hurting officer. And what is Jia? What is Jia to a Xin?
Direct well.
Direct well. And therefore, if this is a male, then your wife, the spouse pillar, the wife is in the spouse pillar. So very good relationship. Very, very good relationship. Xin Hai is hurting officer. Hurting officer is rebellion. Of all the 6 Daymaster, this one very loud voice one. You will know a Xin Hai because in any party assembly, this one is the loudest voice you can possibly find. All right. Xin Hai is a rebel. It's a rebel. Okay, it's a rebel, and during the luck pillar, it can be communication. It can also be a kind of a regime change. Also a regime change as well, that you can find. As it's. All right. So therefore, very noisy, very articulate, and can make money, because Hai Mao Wei. What is Hai Mao Wei? Trinity?
Wood.
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 And what is wood to a Xin Daymaster?
direct wealth, a wealth element, a wealth.
Wealth. Therefore, can make money. Can make money. Therefore, can make money into. Can make money. All right. So that would be good. So for male, good relationship because the wife is in the spouse pillar. Yeah, wife is in the wife pillar. So therefore, good for the male, not good for the female. Not good. But then anyway, can use the horse. Can use the horse. What does the pig combines with?
Tiger.
Pig combines with tiger. So pig combines with the tiger. What is the relationship here for that? What do you call it? What is the tiger's trinity?
Fire.
Fire trinity. Tiger, horse,
Dog.
and dog. Forms the fire trinity. And fire is the husband. Fire is the officer star to the female. Therefore, that's where they'll say use the horse in a silent combination. The three trinity combination that comes into one. All right, and inside the horse is your pink. Inside the horse is the pink, which of course is the husband, the direct officer star into the area as well. All right. Okay, so therefore this would be Xin Hai into one part. So some of the readings that we can. All right. So, well, basically they are artistic. They are basically artistic because they have output. Rainwater is output, so therefore that's why they are artistic. They are attractive simply because they are basically Xin Metal. Xin Metal with rainwater. So Xin Metal with rainwater is polished metal. They are polished metal. And because they are hurting officer, they need to work for a cause. Therefore, they have their passion. They have a passion for work. There's a passion for work. And this work for male, they can bring in money. For male, they can bring in the not necessarily male, sorry. Both male or female, they can also bring in the money as well. All right, but the one last part, of course, is difficult to save money. So therefore, there's a bit of a difficulty to save money. And at times they can be, if they are not careful, if they are too much water, of course, they might be drowned in sorrows, or they are emotional. Because metal and water, too much metal and water makes a person depressed with emotions. Okay, so therefore, too much water, too much metal makes it emotionally very cloudy. Very, very cloudy. All right, there you go. Whoa, time is really, really rushing as we go through it, and I don't want to exceed too much of the time. Tomorrow is a working day, but at least it's still working at home in today. All right, so this is where I'm going to cover the peach blossom, but I think running out of time again. I'll try to save it for next week that we'll cover. So this comes to the end of the Xin Daymaster. We're coming today. Oh, tomorrow holiday in KL. That is right. True. If you have somebody from Australia, right? Is she here today? Sharon, is it? Someone is there. Okay, so anyway, I'll have a session next week. I think nobody's going anywhere. No balik kampung as well. Still too early. Okay, so shall we see each other again next week? Then I think that will be
Okay.
the one before Chinese New Year. By the way, we do celebrate Chinese New Year on the 4th of February, isn't it? Huh? Coming up this Thursday. So. All right. So anyway, I'll see you next week then. So
Yeah.
wish
Thank
you
you.
thank you. Yeah.